Makoa woke before sunrise, a mischievous grin already forming on his muzzle as he peeked over the tall grass. He spotted 2 zebras peacefully grazing and whispered to himself that today was perfect for a harmless prank. With a stealthy crawl, he rearranged a pile of palm leaves to look like a sleeping crocodile. As the zebras approached, the leaves twitched in the breeze and they bolted away, screaming. Makoa burst into laughter and rolled onto his back, clutching his belly. Later, he leaped onto a rock near the watering hole and imitated a roaring elephant so perfectly that even the hippos jumped. When they realized it was him, they groaned loudly, but Makoa just bowed dramatically, as if performing on a grand stage. He continued his tricks all morning, balancing fruits on his tail, pretending to faint dramatically, and convincing the meerkats that he could talk to clouds. Everyone in the Pride Lands knew Makoa as the prankster with endless energy. But not everyone found him amusing. When he tried to sneak up on the royal patrol, Keon sighed and told him that one day his jokes would cause real trouble. Makoa only winked and said, "Trouble made life exciting." Later that afternoon, he strutted through the savannah, humming a silly tune when he overheard 2 lionesses whispering. They mentioned strange growls coming from the old canyon and animals disappearing at night. Makoa perked up. Mystery sounded far more fun than pranks. Curious, he trotted toward the canyon. The wind grew colder as he approached the cliffs, carrying a strange metallic scent. He paused, ears twitching, but his adventurous spirit pushed him forward. As he slipped into the shadows, he suddenly heard deep rumbling beneath the ground. Crouched low, trying to peek over a ledge, and a chunk of rock crumbled under his paws. He tumbled down into a hidden cavern below. He groaned and rubbed his head, then froze. The cavern was lined with old bones and cracked stone. Strange markings glowed faintly on the walls. Makoa's playful smile vanished. He whispered that this was definitely not funny. As he stepped closer to the carvings, he noticed a massive shadow lurking behind a boulder. His fur stood on end. Something was breathing heavily. Something very much alive. He took a careful step back, trying not to make a sound, but the loose pebbles betrayed him with a loud crunch. The creature stirred. A deep growl echoed through the cavern, shaking dust from the ceiling. Makoa's heart pounded as a huge shape rose in the darkness, eyes glowing red like burning embers. The beast stepped into the dim light, revealing twisted horns and a scarred face. It wasn't a lion, nor any animal Makoa had ever seen. It snarled, sending a cold wave through his bones. Makoa whispered that this was definitely not part of his prank plan. The creature lunged. He dodged just in time and bolted toward the tunnel. Rocks crashed behind him as the monster gave chase. His paws scrambled desperately on the rough ground. He burst into the open canyon as the sky darkened overhead. He sprinted across the plains, shouting for help, but the creature stopped at the canyon entrance, snarling before slinking back into the shadows. Panting, Makoa collapsed near Pride Rock. When Simba approached, Makoa explained between gasps that there was something monstrous in the canyon. But because of his reputation, Simba frowned, unsure. Makoa insisted he wasn't joking. His trembling voice finally convinced them to gather a patrol. Huonbunga, Fuli, and the others followed him reluctantly to the canyon's edge. When they arrived, the ground still vibrated faintly from whatever lived below. Keon raised his paw to silence everyone. A chilling growl rose from the depths, even louder than before. The lionesses stepped back in fear. Simba's eyes widened. This was no prank. Makoa swallowed hard, guilt-eating at him. If he hadn't joked so much, they would have taken him seriously sooner. Suddenly, the cavern collapsed inward as the creature burst out, roaring with thunderous force. Animals scattered in terror. The monster charged straight toward the herds. Keon unleashed the roar of the elders, but the creature resisted, pushing through the gust of ancient power. Even Keon looked shaken. Simba ordered everyone to hold their ground, but the beast was overwhelming. Makoa realized that running wouldn't save the Pride Lands. For the first time, he didn't try to be funny, he tried to be brave. He darted toward the creature, taunting it, using his speed and agility to confuse it. He leaped over rocks, dodging claws, shouting insults to keep its attention on him. The monster roared and chased him, falling for his tricks, one by one. Makoa led it toward the old ravine he had explored earlier. As he reached the edge, he turned sharply, skidding across the dirt. The beast couldn't stop in time and toppled over the cliff, crashing into the deep ravine below. The Pride Lands shook as it hit the ground. The valley fell silent. Slowly, Simba and Kion approached. They looked at Makoa stunned. Makoa tried to make a joke to lighten the tension, but his voice cracked. Simba stepped forward and placed a paw on his shoulder. He told Makoa that today, his quick mind and trickster instincts had saved the kingdom. Kion nodded proudly, admitting that even a prankster could be a hero when it mattered most. Makoa's tail swished shyly. For once, he didn't try to be dramatic. He simply smiled, relieved and grateful. As the sun set over the savannah, animals gathered to cheer for him. The zebras who ran from his crockleaf prank, the meerkats he had teased earlier, and even the hippos he scared all called his name proudly. That night, under a sky glittering with stars, Makoa lay on a warm rock and whispered to himself that maybe being a hero felt even better than being a prankster. But the mischievous sparkle in his eye returned. He grinned and said maybe he could be both. And somewhere deep in the canyon, the faint rumble of shifting rocks hinted that the creature was indeed the only secret the Pride Lands were hiding.